Welcome to Raleigh, North Carolina.
You press the start button.
I did, yeah. I wonder if this will sit if I just leave it. Cool. Wow, I'm not gonna have much of a choice here. All right, we got brooms up, Dragons and Apollos. Score is 0-0 as neither team has scored in the first 0.2 seconds. Riveting commentary. Vallejas with the ball starting this half court up for Dragons. Apollo starting out with control. Dragons has got the ball comfortably close to the hoops, but gets a pivot beat on the pass. Spent a lot of defensive stops from every team today. Apollo's looking for a quick and easy first goal from transition. Conservative use of bludger control, getting an opening ahead of those beaters coming out of the lunch break.
Let it go.
Probably the least fresh legs we've seen on Dragons today. They'll probably be picking that back up. Dragons starting off with Vallejas. Sends the ball into the same corner they did last time, but this time a little fake out. Gets it out to 13. 13 is in the paint and gets it. Definitely one of the consistent scoring threats for Dragons today. Now we are 1-1.
Cover each other. Very good. Nice. Bell up. Travis up. Mike, stay with them. Perone, fall back.
Get some high pressure from Dragons, turning into a tap beat into some more high pressure. It's going to be 2 free tap beats, though. Considering how slow-paced the Apollo offenses have been today, this might be the correct approach. Looks like a missed beat there on 77. 65 is content with just running around until they are grazed by a bludger. It's going to say, definitely connected. Vallejas now has the ball back on the other side, so Dragons turned that into a turnover. Did not get control out of it, but did temporarily remove the second beater from play. Not looking to rush things, though. Pretty controlled, methodical Dragons today. Vallejas sends it back into that back corner. And a profound beat coming from the engaged beater on Apollos. Both teams look content with a slow-paced half-court with the occasional transition from Apollos today. We'll see if that stays consistent. Apollos, once again, running in a big circle around. Manages to block a beat, gets into the keeper zone, avoiding beats, gets in there. Kind of a questionable strategy by my book, but if it works, it works. Vallejas not getting clean pick up on the ball. There we go. A little bit of a substitution on Atlantic side. Dragons now operating from the front. We'll see if they attack the sides again before going to the back. Looks like we're going to walk it to the sides and then see about a pass in deep. A beat to the ground. 13 once again operating in that back like no one else.
Exactly that.
Doesn't have to put it through himself. Finds his assistants. We're now 2-2. Both teams up.
Drop back a bit.
Not a lot of duality coming from the Apollo's beater side. Let's see if they make something work as a pair or if 9 is going to consistently try to engage. Looks like Dragons are going to have a leg up in the beater play. This should turn into a pretty straightforward turnover.
Press them.
And Vallejas now has a lane. Is he going to get through Lombardi, though? Vallejas versus Lombardi, and Vallejas is winning that 1v1. Manages to dodge the beat. Blocks it with the quaffle and finds that left side hoop. Vallejas and Lombardi both today definitely putting a lot of effort onto this field. Very high-level players going head-to-head. That 1v1 went the way of Vallejas. We'll see if it keeps going that way. Apollo switching it up in the beater game now. All right, we're calling that goal good. It looks like the ball got out before the player was beat. Vallejo's delaying to pick up the quaffle, waiting on Lombardi to get covered off by a beater. Vallejo's now looking for a lane again. Happy to stop in front of the keeper's zone. Apollo's playing a tight defense. They'll let him most of the way in there, but Lombardi stops that shot. Vallejo's might have more luck driving than shooting on this matchup.
Back right, back right, back right, back right.
Corey Eiler sneaking up behind Lombardi. Manages to get a grip on the ball, but not a good one. Dwyer is now encroaching from the side. Gets his lane to the hoop. Vallejo's is hovering that one hoop on the side, now having to step up to Lombardi. Lombardi almost decapitates that hoop, hits it right on the teacup. Vallejo's now with the ball. A good shot opportunity, unfortunately falls just a little bit short, but you know when you're hitting that teacup, your shot's nice and center. You just got to pick it up a little bit. If you want the ball to go higher, you got to release a little sooner. Vallejo's facilitating around the side to Corey Eiler. Corey taking a drive into a pass, but the pass is picked off by a beater. Just way too telegraphed for that one. The beaters are at the front of the pitch. If you don't have beater support in the back, you can't sell those passes too far out. Still a tied game, though. Very consistently slow half courts as both teams are flexing their strongest options in the attack phase. Lombardi and Dwyer once again working off each other on the midline, the way they have in past games. Lombardi sets it to Dwyer. Dwyer gets meet by a beater, but manages to get a ball into the paint. Dragons are now looking to go the other way. 77 eats the contact from Lombardi, gets it off to Corey Eiler. Is Corey gonna have a chance to drive? Gets it off to Vallejo's. Now Vallejo's now has a driving lane with beater support. Lombardi takes a diving tackle but cannot get it. Looks like potentially a clean goal there from Vallejo's. Not sure if the shot was good, but we are going to have some deliberation from the refs.
It's the blue FIT bag. Oh, it's good. To your right, behind you. It's a backpack, yeah. Okay. No, I can't.
40-30 in favor of Dragons so far. Just a few more offensive options. Lombardi subbing off the pitch. Only one scrum cap on the field at a time. 77 takes a tap beat. Corey takes a tap beat. Oh, man, 7 misses a vital beat, but the second beater gets it. Corey gets the ball off to Vallejo's. Vallejo's now has a whole field. Is it going to go coast to coast? The beater is directly behind. She throws a lob over 17. 17 gets that bludger with ease. Vallejo's still taking his time, lightly jogging down the lane. Hey, them. Vallejo's, yeah, got you. And we got another stoppage. And the ball is going to go to Vallejo's again. If Vallejo's can take this center lane, this should be a pretty straightforward goal. Opts for a pass instead. Might be just a little too fancy. Might not be necessary. You can imagine you can just drive straight through that lane. They're going to sub out. We're going to get a new keeper. Apollo's kind of just playing a one-beater show right now, getting a lot of tap beats off. Long pass is going to turn into a turnover.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I know you saw.
And a botched pass goes right under Corey Eiler's reach. Kind of an unforced error. Number 4.
I wanted to give you
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it, Elizabeth. All right, and the beaters are looking for a high press. That was a difficult trade-off. Apollo's definitely cleaning house in the beater play right now, but not able to consistently receive the quaffle. Number 4 is going to pick it up, and they are going to step out of the keeper zone. Apollo is leaning really hard on beater engages. Did manage to get control, it looks like. Dragons once again in the paint, relying on 13 to execute. 65 is going to run that right back the other way. They picked that up on the right side of the midline. I feel like that was over the halfway mark because the keeper can only pick it up and go if it's on the right side of the midline. They can't do it on the left side if it's going this way. I'm not sure. That was pretty fast. I'll assume that was probably correct. Score is now 50-40 in favor of Dragons. That's gross, guys. Dragons once again throwing a few too long passes. Dwyer winning the race to the quaffle, but not being able to slow down enough to pick it up. Dragons now getting another look. Slaps it through. But this is going to be a dog pile going in towards Apollo's.
Kaylin, you good?
11 minutes. 11 minutes.
Dragons now sitting on 1 bludger, but still on a 1-goal lead. This Dragon beater core is fairly small, but has been able to hold their own against everyone today, including Reapers. So in the long term, you got to think the advantage might be leaning on Dragons for beater play. But the quaffle line on Apollos has had a much more consistent time scoring goals in their games. Number 4 is going to get it up. Are they going to... Oh, we're looking for another slow-paced half-court as both bludgers are on the side of Apollos. Encroaching down the front again. Let's see if Dragons can recreate the magic behind the hoops. Nope, that shot is blocked off by the scrum cap, and Chaser is going to fight off coverage. He's got no one in his way, and all the way to the hoop. Nice job pumping the brakes there at the end. Score is 5-5 now. Bludger's now on the side of Apollo, so even though it is a tie game, it feels like momentum has kind of shifted a little bit to the right side of the field.
Travis, take with Hawan, swap with Hawan, swap with Hawan.
Swap with Hawan.
13, normally the most dangerous in the post-up, is now starting to play up top. Number 4, once again, electing for a kind of desperation swat from the ground. Beaters from Apollos are going to clean that up.
Hold on, get back. It's okay. Ben, step up. Caitlin, find a spot.
Dragons leaving a lot of hoops open right now. But Apollo is just hanging on to the ball too long once again, so it is going to be an easy turnover for a pivot beat.
Nice stop, Dragons.
A lot of possessions today from different teams have included people just hanging on to the ball until they get beat. If you're going to take that lane, you got to have a plan for the bludger. 4 is now wrapped up and passes off to a beater on the other team. So that is going to quickly turn into a keeper possession for Apollos. The kind of rushed go from Dragons has kind of created a lot of turnovers for them. The score hasn't changed much in the past few minutes, but the Bludgers finally swinging back to Dragons, though, so we'll see if they can make something work now.
Got control. Go for it. Don't wait. One behind. Be careful. Don't cheat for it. Stay in front of your hole. Go for Quaffle. For Quaffle. Press them out.
And Bludgers are going off pitch, and that was a very nice stop. Keeper's got to actually possess the ball to get keeper possession, but he's got it now. They've got it. So, still 5-5. And Villegas is now back on the pitch, so we should see a little bit more electricity on the way of Dragons. And Bludgers are now back on Dragon's side as well, so this might be the momentum shift they need to start pulling ahead. They've had good luck with flag catches today, but you don't want to lean on it if you don't have to. Gets the ball back up to Villegas. And a nice quick release. A+ facilitation from Villegas. And a beater transition attempt is going to get shut down. Lombardi just muscles it. You'd think Mega Man was out of here shooting off with his cannon arm. Score is still tied. So the momentum shift didn't last too long because Lombardi just shut that door right back down. .77 now muscling his way through. Gets the ball up. Not to anyone in particular. Lombardi gets beat out trying to retrieve it. 13 now with ball in hand. Gets it to 77. 77 executes. Dragons finally starting to get some momentum back in this. As Villegas says, they look so good right now. This is where they are playing their game. We'll see if Apollos can bring it back in. Apollos want to slow it down, but the Quaffle is not going to do it for him. And Villegas runs that transition back in. Nice run, Chris. Nice run. A lesser ref would have walked it. We're at 80-60. Timeout for Apollos. Apollos probably want to slow this momentum shift back down. As we stated, with Bludger Control switching back to Dragons at the same time that Villegas is coming back on the field, the powerful side of Dragons is starting to show itself again. Apollos probably want to rein this back in, slow the gameplay back down, stop these transition goals. It does feel like the matchup is probably leaning in the favor of Dragons and Bludger play, partly just due to more synergy and cooperation between the beaters. Might see if the Apollos beater core wants to switch up the way they're approaching offense and see if they can integrate their beaters back into the play together. Right. They told me a couple of those.
All right, let's go. Dragons on 3. 1, 2, 3, Dragons!
That's true. Yeah, it's a safer practice. I try to build the habit, but I forget. 80-60, still a very tight game. Back to Hoops calling the beater play might create an opening for Apollos. Apollos having a hard time getting down that center lane. Lombardi gets beat out of it. Oh, and a very precise pass, but way too forceful to receive at that range, so it's going to go right through.
Corey, you're behind. Hey, left side now.
Villegas is facilitating their teammates. We're getting some good foot movement out of the quad line. Corey sends it back up. Definitely not looking for a shot here, but wants to be a threat for it. Not a whole lot of pressure coming from the way of Apollos. About as slow-paced on defense as they were on offense. Looking for a very controlled, tight defense. Oh, almost. Oh, they did. It tipped through the hoop, apparently. If you put enough steam on it, it's going to go where it's going. I believe it was 77. I'm like 90% sure it was 77.
18 minutes.
Lombardi is now... he just moved. Lombardi again! Firing shots with some rage behind them.
You got it. Good job, Andrew. Go offense now. Next one.
Short range, strong shots have really been deciding the last few possessions.
Time check.
18:38.
Thank you.
Oh, 18:40. I'm 2 seconds behind you. That's a nice stop by Apollos. Dragons comfortable just sitting back on this one, though. As we're approaching the 20-minute mark, they don't want to lose those bludgers. 2 minutes can be a long time in game time, but...
19 minutes! 19 minutes!
1 or 2 more possessions to go before we get to our intermission.
Pick up something, pick back.
Lombardi looking to hang on to it for a while. Sets it to Dwyer in the corner. Dwyer is going to get pressed, going to reset it to Lombardi. Oh, and Corey Eiler is going to intercept it. He's going to take a hit, but there's no ball in there. That's going to be a stoppage. We're going to review that hit. They're joking around about the length of the tackle, but it might actually be a hit from behind. That might be the call. We'll see what the refs come up with. I don't think the follow-through was the problem. I think the issue might have been the point of engagement, but we'll see. Once someone's already... Yep, there it is. It's a hit from behind. Once you've both got momentum going the other way, you can't land that hit. You're no longer stationary, so... That's exactly it. Had ref Brandon is on the money. We are going to see Corey Eiler now with an open lane on Matt Dwyer. Is he going to be able to get through the impenetrable wall of Dwyer?
2 meters.
Oh, and it loops. Difficult finesse there from Corey Eiler. Control now on the side of Apollos. With only 15 seconds left to go in the half of the game.
1950, 51.
But that 2-goal deficit is also a problem, so Dwyer definitely wants to see a solution there. Villegas wants to get a hand on it. We are now looking at our last possession. Dragons managed to get bludgers out of this. No, but they are certainly going to try to. They're going to run it down while blitzing with the bludgers. Villegas is still taking their time with the quad ball up on the midline. Facilitates to the right on number 4. Number 4 is going to have an easy lane to drive through, but doesn't take it. Instead throws a low pass past Corey. Unfortunately, a couple of sloppy plays, unfortunately, lost the advantage that Dragons had going into this, but they do still have that 2-point advantage going into the second half. We are now sitting at intermission. Hi, Noah.
Hello.
Would you like to say hi to any frogs in particular?
Penelope and Sinelope.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Some good frogs.
Oh yeah. Favorite frog.
I'm a big fan of Slippy Toad, personally.
Nice. What? They call it yeah.
Did we pause game time on quad ball 1?
Fixing English.
Oh, okay.
So we're fixing it.
All right.
Are we allowed to make substitutions right now? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
English,
Exactly.
but like English and recess. Set back to before I press play. So what's the pause time? 2020.
Oh, it stopped. It did stop at 2019. Okay. COVID. Oh, yeah. Is that why it's called COVID-19?
Yes.
I had no idea.
That strand of the virus was identified in 2019.
Is it also affiliated with birds?
I thought a Corvid was a car.
I'm from Sanford. I'm from Sanford. We don't do words too good. We invent lots of words. Like darn tootin'.
Brooms! Yeah, I said we had
We are going to see if Dragons can continue these Seekers streak.
Listen to her counting. He's going to count for the person who's in box. So listen to her count.
Okay.
Don't listen to him.
Who's in box?
You are now.
Around that other one.
You're going to get the cord out of the way. Give me a second. Do. Lots of camaraderie among Seekers today. Mostly because the flag runners are a force of evil that need to be stopped. No matter what. Apollo's going to start in the way back corner. Probably where they'd like to. Let's get this game pace to a halt.
8, 7,
And Lombardi is back in the match.
4, 3, 2, 1. Seekers are released.
The beater's staying on defense! Yep.
Dragons comfortable keeping the lead this game, switching up their strategy a little bit. Well,
Keep it going behind.
their Seekers have been catching without a whole lot of beater support, so this might not be a change of strategy. This might actually be what's been working for him so far. But Lombardi is getting closer to those hoops, and as soon as he reaches that certain distance, it's going to be a goal, so you got to keep him spaced out of it. He is now looking for that lane, and he is muscling. It just spins it. I don't practice the man. Wait, that's not right. I don't practice the man. I don't fear the man who practices 1,000 different shots. I fear the man who practices one shot 1,000 times. That's Zorro, yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Zenitsu.
Zenitsu, yeah, Zenitsu. Very different swordsmen, Zorro and Zenitsu. Oh, man, and Apollo's with a big stop. Corey is getting his way into the paint with the ball. Is just having a hard time connecting with the hoop with these defenses. Apollo is now looking for a transition opportunity. I don't know if he sees number 11 here. And that is going to be a quick turnover going the other way. Valeas now might have a lane. I think they do. Not taking the lane, though. Dishing it out to number 12. It's going to get blocked up. Number 4 is going to get it. Number 4 is just going to rip it hard to Valeas. The hoop with the assist. Somebody better make sure that hoop dismounts and goes back to hoops. Do not... Yeah, maybe a similar situation. Dragons might be batting 1,000 on flag catches today. They got it in the hand. Score is currently 100 to 70. What is set score again?
150.
Yay!
The Atlantic Dragons catch is good.
Once again, Dragons. Relatively quick catches. Not a whole lot of deliberation on them. They're getting called pretty fast. They're pretty clean. I think it's 2 more balls.
3 for 3 today.
I thought you told me you weren't going to catch anymore for the season.
May have lied.
Is there a card for that? Everyone's lying to me today. Good run, Peck. Good run. It was all right. Anytime I don't get caught on the first engage, it's good.
Only do tournaments and don't practice at all?
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's a good workout.
And then they caught, right? Yes. So what is the score? 135 to 70. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
They started at 9.
Yep. Dragons got 2 more to go. 8 goals for Apollos. This very quickly got out of hand for them. As Dragons tend to do. Even for a space crew. Dragons managing to stretch the resources of Apollos. Dragons looking to go home with a win here.
Guys, smart choices. We don't need to rush it. We don't need to rush it. Pass back. There we go.
Wow, 65. Don't run back into that zone, though.
Tackle, tackle, tackle. 2 hands.
Apollos gets back on the board. We are now 135 to 80. It's going to take a few of these transition goals, though, before Apollos can consider this back into being a game.
Hey, Caitlin, can you take it 1? We're going fast. We're going fast. 1, you 2. 1 and 1.
Throw something.
We're going to come I heard like stand up top here. Move. Get it back there.
Dragons trying to implement something in the beater play. Apollos do not connect that reset. It looks like it might become, it's not going to be a transition goal, though. As long as that bludger's back on defense. Apollo's taking it very slow.
Hold on, who you on? Hold on, who you on? Find someone. Cheated, but in the middle of the hoop. 2 hands, guys, 2 hands.
Oh, you might, oh, you.
There's a lot of action in this back corner here. There's a beat there. Apollos is going to run it back down the center lane, though. Is he going to get it? He does. Right through 13. I think he might have scored that on 2 hoops.
Guys, do not lose your momentum. Do not get lazy.
Dragons can just get one more point on the board and get their momentum back. But if Apollos can keep running on like this, they need 2. I think they need 2.
How many?
2. 2. Should be 2. It's going to be 1 now. 13 with a real quick air dunk. Posterizes that side hoop.
One more goal.
Lombardi hiding the quad ball. No one knows where the quad ball is now. There he goes. Lombardi is now looking for that quick transition. Oh, tries to do something fancy with Dwyer, but it is going to go off the pitch now if there's a transition the other way. Nah, not with number 7 sitting back. But you might see a power play. They got both bludgers. They got 1 goal to win. Not a great spot to find yourself if you're Apollos. Oh, man. Well, honestly, you do about 5 of those, and one of them's going to connect. So, not the worst strategy. It's a little safe. Doesn't risk the bludgers. Beater substitution for Dragons. We'll see if they want to close this out.
Sorry, I gave you no warning, Dante. My bad. Dante, you're backing up.
Lombardi, passes off to Corey Eiler. Corey's going to go all the way. Oh, he released just a bit early. Could have just taken it all the way to the hoop. And as young as he used to be. You got to tank through those, unfortunately. Especially when it's game point like that.
Whenever you need me. Guys, you're stacking up. Peters, you're stacking up. They got no help.
Dragons with a quick press. The ball is getting in the back court for Dragons. Apollo still taking it in. They get a long pass up to Dwyer. Dwyer has got an opportunity. He instead passes it off to 65. He gets a really high up alley-oop. People really like to get that high stretch on that short hoop. Dragons looking for the power play. 13 is going to go all the way. Brought down by Matt Dwyer. No, he's not. No, they're not. And the hoop goes down with them. Dog pile up on a damaged hoop, and they might have just broken another one. I don't know about that. There's an injury at the very least, so we are going to turn away. Is that the last of my base? The last moment.
You can pass it there. You need to. You ruptured your knee? Hold on. Okay. For me,
I think I see it.
don't be sorry.
If the poll stays, you can finish the game.
Take water, Dragons! Take water!
Headbands at the brooms. All right, we're going to take a short pause for equipment malfunction yet again. All right. All right, welcome back. We're at the tail end of Dragons Apollos. Both teams hit the 100-goal threshold. Set score is 150. Dragons are half a point away from punching their ticket. To I guess the finals maybe.
Stop apologizing every time you get hurt. Do not apologize, all right? You're a helper. You're a helping guy. Don't worry. You take the most hits in the line to do it.
The Dragons' high press style has definitely been punishing Apollos pretty hard.
Guys, don't let them take space.
Corey meeting pretty high, gets tap beat. Oh man, and Apollos opening up a pretty big window in the bludger play. And manages to find that left side hoop. 65, a pretty reliable score for Apollos, has found another one. 145, 110. We are almost to 30 minutes. Probably past it with stoppages.
Go back.
Two bludgers still on Dragons. Dragons not throwing that second bludger away for anything, but if Apollos can find a couple more goals.
Corey, tackle. What are you waiting for?
Apollo's more than happy to let these point chasers come all the way up just to get tap beat. But if 81 gets removed from this play, it might be a quick transition goal the other way. We'll see how these trades go. Dwyer is going to come up with it. That's going to be a retrieval. Is going to end up beat there. Villegas now has the ball. They're surveying. I don't think control has left the hands of Dragons in quite a while.
Beaters, make a move. Make moves for the beaters.
81 threw that one pretty forceful, but from too far away. Villegas had no problem stopping it, but it's hard to say if Dragons is going to be able to retrieve this one. Looks like it's going to stay with Apollos here. .65 trying to get into the paint here. If they can do it, then they're going to have a pattern here. There it is. 120 to 145. We are actually back about to a less decisive match. If the same thing that's happened for the last 3 goals happens for the next 3, then Dragons might throw this one away. Oh, 65 coming off broom in contact here. Villegas now operating. I think this is going to... Oh, there's a tap beat, though. Now we may actually see Apollos turn this around here. There's now a transition goal going the other way. 65 is hauling it. Rolls the bowling ball back to the chaser over that midline. Gets that reset. They're going to get high press here. Oh, that's going to be going the other way. Apollos might have smartly saved that game by letting Dragons touch the ball. Because Dragons touched it, it wasn't an illegal reset, but it was going to be a turnover if Apollos picked it up. At least I think so. Apollos incidentally got an accidental reset out of it and bludger control. Now with the new bludger rotation, Lombardi and Dwyer on the field. Dwyer and Lombardi probably going to work off each other off this left corner. 145 to 120. Got a lot of bludger action going on here. Lombardi now encroaching from the left side. Pump fakes pass number 4. Manages to shake the defender. Oh, shoots it low. Not the worst look you've seen, but there was a pass option on that side hoop. Teams might be struggling to find the wing chasers here. Dragons taking a timeout. Not a bad idea after the deficit for the last while. The last, honestly, 10 minutes have probably gone the way of Apollos more than Dragons. Dragons been sitting at game point for quite a while. Yeah. Essentially just difficulty in executing the attacks on the side of Dragons, then Apollos having the same option, number 65 running around the back left side of the pitch, getting into the hoops when the beaters are out of play and just running it in.
What is real time?
Dragons do seem to be able to maintain bludger control almost indefinitely in this matchup. They do have a pretty widespread defense. When the beaters are not able to shut down these drive plays, they become a very easy team to drive on once you get in behind the paint.
Start as soon as this game goes, so warm up now. There's not going to be time.
On the side of Apollos, though, you've got a very kind of congested but very tight trees defense. At least I think it's trees. It might be fluctuating between trees and a 2-2, but they're very tight. They're all in the keeper zone together. Beaters and chasers, just a lot of bodies in the way, which does stop the most dangerous scoring option for Dragons, which is going to be Villegas' shot. A couple of the key players who normally be scoring those goals on the paint for Dragons are either injured or worn out, so it's getting more and more difficult time the longer this match goes on for them. We'll see if Dragons came up with a power play to get this last goal on the board or if they're just going to continue business as usual. The odds are in their favor, though, to score one goal before the other team scores three. Gonna set the ball back to Villegas. Villegas and Lombardi. Villegas, no problem getting past Lombardi. And Corey Eiler may have just wrapped this game up. That quick release, if there was no beat in the play. That is it. Corey Eiler finally gets his goal and brings us home for Dragons. An excellent final run by Apollos, though, in a game a lot of people would have given up a lot sooner. They made a huge climb back into it.